Hello everyone. So today in this session we will see the concept of programmable logic arrays. It is nothing but PLA. Okay, it's nothing but programmable logical arrays. So we will discuss this. Okay. So if you see this, so this PLA is nothing but it is somewhat similar to the PROM concept. Previously we have seen the PROM. So PLA is somewhat similar to PROM concept in the conceptual wise, but however it does not provide the full decoding of variables. Okay, this particular PLA cannot provide this full decoding of the variables, and it cannot, it doesn't, and it will not generate the all the bit terms at the PROM. Okay, so PLA is conceptual wise or the operation wise it is similar to PROM, but however it does not provide the full decoding of the variables, and it cannot generate the all the terms in PROM. So how this PLA is generated in the sense, in the case of PROM, we have a decoder, right? Right? PROM, we are having decoder and OR gates. Okay, see carefully. In the case of PROM, we are having decoder, decoder plus OR gates plus a group of OR gates. And what about this PLA? PLA is consisting of a group of AND gates. Okay, just the decoder is being replaced with a group of AND gates. That's it. AND gates, and output of the AND gates are linked with OR gates. That's it. Okay. Concept wise, both are same. But in the case of the structure and the designing, this decoder is being replaced here with AND gates. That is the only small difference. Okay, here it is OR, here it is OR. OR gates are same. Only the decoder is being replaced with the AND gates. That is mentioned here. Okay, decoder is replaced with a group of AND gates, and each of these AND gates will be programmed. It is very important. These AND gates in the PLA are programmable or programmable. That means you can erase the program whenever you require, and you can write a new program. Okay, these are AND gates are programmable. Okay, clear? So the PLA will be replacing the decoder present in the PROM with a group of AND gates. Okay, just decoder is removed and AND gates are added, and same there also OR gates are there, here also OR gates will be there. Okay, so if you see this particular concept in this PLA, both these AND gates and OR gates both are programmable. Okay, so remember that whenever you are drawing a line, the programmable means you should mention like this, the connection should be like this. Okay, suppose if it is an AND gate, for example, it's an AND gate and it is output of AND gate, you should write like this. This type of connection indicates that these particular gates are programmable. Suppose if you draw the line same connection like this, if you put a dot like this and you draw a connection like this, it means that it is a fixed. It cannot be programmable. It is a fixed one. Suppose if you draw a line from this and you call this type of connection as programmable connection, this is fixed connection. It is a programmable connection. So in this particular PLA circuits, you should use both programmable connections. Why? Because whenever you are using AND or whenever you are using OR, in PLA both AND comma OR gates are programmable. That's why you should use this type of connection in the problems. You should not mention this type of connection. Okay, as both the gates are programmable, you should use only this type. See the, put a small star mark like this on the line. That will be the programmable connection. Okay, remember that. Next, so the diagram here, you will have n number of inputs, and these inputs will be traveled towards an input buffer. What is input buffer? What is input buffer? Generally, we call this gate as buffer gate. Okay, We call this as buffer gate. Okay, when you add a small bubble here, then it will call as inverter. Okay, before drawing bubble, it is a buffer gate. That means input will be is equal to output. If you replace bubble, then that will become as inverter. Input will be is equal to opposite of the, sorry, output is equal to opposite of input, that is inverter. Okay, before bubble it is a buffer gate. Output will be is equal to input. When keeping bubble at output side, it will become as inverter. That means output is equal to inverse of input. Okay, and what is input buffer means, both the conditions are observed in the same diagram. That means you take like this, you draw a line here and keep a small bubble here and draw a line here. That means if input A is applied here, here no bubble is there, that's why directly A will be appeared here. But as bubble is present here, we will get A bar. So both conditions of A are observed in the same gate. You call this is an input buffer. Okay, if an input is supplied like this, it is called input buffer. Suppose if you take B here, you will get B bar. If you take C here, you will get C bar. Like that, we call this model as input buffer. Representation of like this is called as an input buffer. Okay, next, input buffer is followed with the AND matrix. AND matrix means a group of AND gates. Okay, I have mentioned here, see, a group of AND gates is called as an AND matrix. Is called as an AND matrix. What is matrix? You will write like this, right? A group of numbers, zeros, 1, 2, 3, whatever you will write in a group. So like that, we call this group of numbers as a matrix. The same condition here. We are having group of AND gates. That's why I am calling as an AND matrix. And these AND matrix are linked with the OR matrix. What is OR matrix? A group of OR gates is called as OR matrix. Okay. First you will have input buffer. This input buffer is linked with AND matrix, and AND matrix is linked with OR matrix, and then in some conditions you will get directly this step. In some conditions you will get this invert or non-inverter matrix. Okay, invert or non-inverter matrix, and then you will get output buffer. Output buffer means the last output lines is called as output buffer. So we are having 5 different stages to reach the output. What is that? First, n number of inputs will be transferred to input buffer, and then it is linked with AND matrix, and it is again linked with OR matrix. In some conditions, it's an exceptional case. In some conditions, you will get this particular invert or non-inverter matrix. Otherwise, directly it will be transferred to output buffer. Okay, so these are the 5 stages. And at the output buffer, you will have an enable, okay, which is in complementary form, so that you will get m number of outputs. Okay, same n number of inputs, m number of outputs, same as PROM. In PROM also we will have n number of inputs and m number of outputs. That's why, as per the concept, these both are same. PLA and PROM both are same as per the concept, but in a designing process these are different. Okay, here decoder is there in PROM, and in PLA this decoder is been replaced with the AND gates, which is called as AND matrix. A group of AND gates is called AND matrix. A group of OR gates is called OR matrix. Okay, so please practice this diagram, which is very important even for short answers also. Okay, for 2 marks questions, there may be possibility to ask the block diagram of PLA. Okay, please practice this table diagram. Next, we will see in examples how to implement the combinational logic circuits using PLA. So see the question carefully. A combinational circuit is defined as, so directly they have given 2 expressions. This is first expression, this is second expression, and they asked you to implement the PLA circuit having, this is a very important observation you should take. Okay, you should design the circuit which satisfies the given condition. What is the given condition? Your circuit should accept 3 inputs, your circuit should generate 3 product terms, and your circuit should have 2 outputs. So 3, 3, 2. 3 inputs, 3 product terms, 2 outputs. This is the requirement they have asked. So you should design the circuit which will satisfy the given condition, Okay. So in some problems you will find like 3 cross 2. In some problems they will be like this. It means that the first 3 indicates your inputs. The first number indicates your inputs. The second number indicates your product terms. Second number indicates your product terms. And third number will be indicated your outputs. Okay. Suppose if they clearly mention like this, no problem. If they clearly mention like this, then it is no problem. You can easily see this. Suppose if they represent in this format 3 cross 3 cross 2, then the first number indicates your inputs, the second number indicates your product terms, third number indicates your outputs. Okay, remember this notation. Okay, now so what you will do, what is the first step means, first of all you need to frame the truth table. As we are having 3 number of inputs for each and every function, take 3 inputs at input side. For 3 number of inputs you will have 8 combinations, so starting from 000 to ending with 7. Okay, 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. Totally 8 combinations are written. Next, this is the output section. Okay, so see here, see till here these are your inputs, and these two comes under your outputs. So in input side they have given ABC in the question. Here also ABC, that's why I took ABC as my inputs. A, B, C. For 3 number of inputs I will have 8 combinations. I have written all the 8 combinations here. Okay, now for F1 3, 5, 7 are the given output lines. So this is third one, this is fifth one, and this is seventh one. So only at that particular points you should write 1 in the column of F1. Okay, in the column of F1 write once in the given numbers. So 3 means 0 1 1, so for 0 1 1 you keep 1. 5 means 101, so 101 you keep 1. 7 means 111, so for 111 you keep 1. Okay. Next, what about for F2 4 5 7? 4 means this one 100, 5 means this one, and 7 means this one. Okay, so wherever the given numbers are there, in those particular combinations you replace 1 and the remaining values are replaced with 0. Okay, like that you need to frame the table. Okay, okay, see here F1 is consisting of 3, 5, 7. That's why for third combination I kept 1. For fifth combination I kept 1, and for seventh combination I kept 1. So 3, 5, 7 consisting of ones. Why ones? Why? Because it is an SOP, summation is SOP. That's why you should replace the given numbers with 1 and the rest of all numbers as 0. And what about F2 4, 5, 7? So 4 means this is the combination 1 0 0. So for this F2 will be 1, F2 will be 1, and 5 means 1 0 1. For this combination also F2 will be 1, and the last one 7. For here also it is 1. So 4, 5, 7 consisting of ones and the remaining values are zeros. Okay, like that you need to frame the table clearly as per the given problem. Okay, now we will start the original method, that means the main process. This is the initial process, how to convert this expression in the form of a truth table. Okay, now first find out the output expressions for both the expressions. Okay, first find out the minimal expressions for the both the functions by using K-map. Okay, now perform the K-map for the given two functions. So this is the K-map of f1 function. This is K-map of f2 function. Okay, and if you observe carefully, for f1 you will have two pairs, and for f2 also you will have two pairs. Okay, and write the answer here: AC plus BC. Here AB bar plus AC. You will get two expressions separately, f1 and f2. And when you observe the number of product terms here, what are the product terms here? This is one product term AC. This is second product term BC. This is third product term AB bar. This is the AC. Here it is repeated one. See, you list out all the product terms from the two expressions: AC, BC, AB bar. Again we got AC. So don't need write two times. Why? Because here AC is there, here AC is there. Same term is repeating. So no need to write two times, only write once. So total number of product terms from the two expressions we got in three product terms. Okay, we got three product terms when we observe the both the expressions. Right? When you observe the question, they have given three inputs, three product terms, two outputs. This is the condition. So we got three product terms as per the rule. Yeah, we got three product terms. So no problem. Suppose if you don't get this condition, that means the obtained product terms count will not be equal to the given count. In that scenario, we will have separate method that we will see in the next problem. In this current problem, the asked product terms are 3, the obtained product terms are also 3. So condition satisfied. So no problem. Okay. We got the output expressions as first one is AC plus BC, second one is AB bar plus AC. Okay. So the two output expressions consist of three product terms. What are those? First one is AC, second one is BC, third one is AB bar, which satisfies the condition given. What is the condition given? Three inputs, three product terms, two outputs. So we got three product terms as per the given condition. So the condition is satisfied here. Okay. Step. If the condition is satisfied, you need to frame the PLA table. What is PLA table? This table consists of product terms, inputs, and outputs. So product terms, what are the values we got here previously? AC, BC, AB bar. AC, BC, AB bar. So see here. So see, we are having three product terms. So write them. So even you can write within the table. Okay. You can write these three inside this column. Okay, no problem. You can write here like AC. You can write here BC. And you can write here AB bar. Okay, you can write these terms inside the table also, no problem. Okay, and now these are your input sections and these are your output sections. How many inputs are there? A comma B comma C. Three inputs are there. How many outputs are there? F1 and F2. We got only two expressions in the question. That's why two outputs. How many product terms are there? Three product terms. Once you observe the given condition, they ask three inputs, three product terms, two outputs. Verify here. Three inputs are there. Yes, three inputs are there. Three product terms are there. Yes, three product terms are there. Two outputs are there. Yes, two product terms. So the given question is satisfying the current table. Okay. Three inputs are there. Two outputs are there. Three product terms are there. Okay. Now, what is the first term? AC. So A is in normal form. Normal form means the question is SOP question. Again, you should remember here the considerations of SOP. What is the considerations? Any literal in complementary form is taken as 0. Any literal in normal form is taken as 1. These are the two assumptions you should keep in mind while you are dealing in SOP. Now see here, A is in normal form. No complement is there. Normal form means your value is 1. Your value is 1. So keep 1 under A. Next, B is not there. That's why keep dash. Okay. You don't find B in this term. Only A comma C are there. B is not there here. So keep dash. Why? Because it is a missing literal. Now C is also normal form. No complement is there. That's why take 1. Okay. 1 dash 1. Next, go for second one. Second one BC. Here A is not there. So keep dash under A. B is in normal form. So 1. C is also in normal form. 1. Next, go for third one. A is in normal form. 1. Here B is in complementary form. Here bar is there. See here. Here B is in complementary form. That's why take 0. And C is absent. So take dash. Like that, you fill up this input section with the help of these product terms. With the help of the product terms, you fill up this input section. Now, how to fill the output section? What is the answer for F1 we got? What is the answer for F1? AC plus, the answer of F1 is AC plus AB bar. Sorry. AC plus AB bar. AC plus BC is the answer for the first one. AC plus BC. This is the answer for F1. That's why in the function of F1, first product term is involving. That's why keep 1. Second product term is also involving. So keep 1. Third product term is not involving in F1. That's why keep dash. Okay. When you observe the expression of F1, see here, F1 is the answer regarding AC plus BC. Only 2 terms are there. That's why only this AC is involving, so take 1 here. BC is involving, so take 1 here. Okay. AB bar is not involving in F1. That's why I kept dash. Next, what about F2? In the F2, BC is not involving. Other than this BC, the remaining 2 are involving. That's why keep dash for BC and the remaining 2 are replaced with 1. Okay. Output section 1 means this term is involving in your expression. Dash means this particular term is absent in your expression. That is the meaning. Okay, like that we fill up the inputs as well as your outputs. Now, what is the meaning of T here? T means the outputs both F1 and F2 are in a true form. Okay. If we have F1 bar and F2 bar, then it is complementary form. You should write C here. When you write here F1 bar and F2 bar. Okay. But in this problem, directly we found out F1 and F2 and we got the condition satisfied as per the given problem. Therefore, F1 is a true form. That's why capital T. F2 is also a true form. So capital T. Okay. This is the PLA table. Very, very, very important. Okay. Now, the final diagram. Draw this diagram neatly. First, take the input buffers as per the block diagram. What is the first one? Input buffers will be given, and these input buffers are linked with the AND matrix. AND matrix means a group of AND gates, and again these are connected to OR matrix, group of OR gates, and then you will get output buffer. This is the sequence of diagram you need to draw. Okay, so first take the input buffer. This is called as your input buffer. Called this as input buffer. So already I have said, you will observe the 2 combinations in a same gate. Okay, see here, A is A and A bar, for B, B bar, for C, C bar. Draw lines like this. Okay, and what are the product terms we are having? AC, BC, AP bar. These are the 3 product terms we are having. So take 3 AND gates separately. Okay, AC means you tie the pin A. Okay, already I said that in PLA both AND gate and OR gate are programmable. If you draw like this, it is a programmable connection. These are all your programmable connections. Okay. If you mention like this, see here black color dots, these are your fixed. These are the fixed connections. Okay. We are keeping a strong dot like this, it means a fixed connection. You cannot reprogram them. If you mention like this into marks, these are programmable. Okay. So now the term is A comma C. So tie here A and tie C. Okay. Programmable connection. Be careful. Into mark, small into mark. Next, what about BC? Connect a line B and connect a line C. And what about third one? AB bar. So take A and B bar. Connect these two. First AND gate, second AND gate, third AND gate. So this shading part, that means the group of all these three you call as an AND matrix. You call as an AND matrix. Okay. Now extend these output lines. Then what you will get after AND, you should get OR gates. So how many OR gates you will have? How many expressions we are having in the output column? That many OR gates you will have. In the question, we have only two output expressions. One is F1, another one is F2. Okay. So we are having two expressions given in the problem. So take two OR gates, one for F1, one for F2. So F1 is the function which is involving AC comma BC. So what is answer for F1? AC plus BC. So OR gates are also programmable gates. That's why take the programmable connection only for AC comma BC. You don't find the AB bar in the expression of F1. That's why no connection is given here. Okay, be careful while drawing the diagram. Next, what is about F2? F2 we are having same AC and we don't have this BC2, so leave it again. AB bar is there, that's why put an programmable connection. Okay, programmable connection means a small into mark is to be noted. Fixed connection means you should mention like a dot. Okay, these are all your fixed connections. All your fixed connections. Why? Because there is no need to change the inputs. That's why they are fixed. But these are all your programmable connections. That means you can reprogram them as whatever you like. Okay, as per your requirement you can reprogram n number of times. Okay, this is reprogrammable connection symbol. It is a fixed connection symbol. Okay, so like this is nothing but your input buffer. This is AND matrix, this is OR matrix, and you call this F1 F2 as your output buffer. This is input buffer, this is output buffer. You call this AND matrix, this is OR matrix. Okay, like that you can clearly explain the diagram. Okay. So as per the condition, what is the condition given? You should verify three inputs they have asked. So we are having three inputs. Okay, three product terms they have asked. So three product terms are there. Okay, two outputs they have asked. So two outputs are there. So the given diagram is representing the, okay, the obtained diagram what we have drawn is representing the or satisfying the given condition as per the question. That's why this circuit is correct. Okay, like that you can simplify a PLA model. Okay, very important PLA model. Next we will see one more example. The same format. Here also we are having two functions F1 and F2. They have given, see here, 3 cross 4 cross 2. Okay, the same problem I have seen previously. In the previous question they mentioned clearly 3 inputs 3 outputs, sorry, 3 inputs 3 product terms 2 outputs, but here they have given in this format 3 into 4 into 2. This first 3 implements, or it should indicate, okay, These first three will indicate the number of inputs. The second number indicates the number of product terms. Third number indicates the number of outputs. Okay, inputs, product terms, outputs. Okay, you should remember this. Suppose if you find this type of notation in the exam, 3 is representing inputs, 4 is representing the product terms, 2 is representing the outputs. Okay, now if you see here, each and every function consisting of 3 inputs. What are those? A0, A1, A2. Here also you find 3 inputs, A0, A1, A2. So the first number condition is satisfied. 3 inputs are there. Okay. Now see the output condition. 2 outputs should be there. See, F1 is first input, F2 is second input. Sorry, output. F1 is first output, second one is F2. So you are having 2 outputs. Okay. So inputs are there. What are those? 3 inputs are there. What are those? A0, A1, and A2. These are the 3 inputs. 3 inputs. Next, F1 and F2. These are your 2 outputs. So condition is satisfied regarding inputs and outputs. Now you need to satisfy this 4 product terms. Okay, you should design this satisfying of 4 product terms. If this is done, then your problem is completed. Okay, they have asked you, please convert into 4 product terms. That's why if you're done with this, then your problem is simplified. Okay, so as per the same concept, first of all, you simplify the K-map by using these two, F1 K-map, F2 K-map, then you will get the expressions like this. The concept of 3 pairs, here the concept of 2 pairs. So when you observe here, from the 2 expressions, from F1 and F2, list out the product terms. See here, A2 dash, A1 dash. This is one product term. A2 dash, A0. This is second product term. A1 dash, A0. This is third product term. A2, A0. This is fourth one. A0, A1. This is fifth one. So you don't find any repetition term, so that all the product terms are identical to each other. Sorry, difference with each other, so that the number of product terms count is 5. You got 5 product terms, but the question is 4 product terms. So when you simplify F1 and F2, and when you list out the product terms, when that count is not satisfying with the given number, the given number is 4, but the obtained number is 5. Previously, in the previous problem, it is simplified. Okay, in the previous problem, directly for F1 and F2 simplification, we have satisfied the obtained number and the asked number. So no problem. But in this model, the obtained count of product terms is not equal to the asked condition. Then what you need to do? When you are finding F1 and F2, that means when you are grouping of ones, you are not satisfying the condition. Then you start grouping of zeros. Here cells are empty means here you will have zeros indirectly. Okay, the cells are leaving empty in the sense these cells to be filled with 0. What I am saying, firstly you have grouped ones. Okay, see here we are grouping ones. When you group the ones in a K-map, you get 5 product terms, which is not our condition. So what I am doing is, you find F1 bar and F2 bar. What is F1 bar, F2 bar? Leaving the ones and a grouping of zeros. Okay, if you are doing ones grouping, you are not satisfying the given condition. So leave the ones and start grouping the zeros. That means F1 bar, F2 bar. So see here, see, we are getting 5 product terms. We are getting 5 product terms from the K-map simplification, but as per the requirement, we need only 4 product terms. That's why So we need to try the different ways for getting the required condition. So one and only one path is we need to directly satisfy the given condition, no other way. Okay, you try in different methods. Different method means, listen carefully. First you simplify f1 and f2 and list out the product terms and verify the obtained count with the given count. If both are same, no problem. If they are not same, then find f1 bar and f2 bar. Now start comparing between f1 bar, f2 bar. If the number of count product terms and given count is same, okay, no problem. Suppose if f1 bar, f2 bar, these both are also not satisfying, then compare these two. Compare these two expressions and list out the terms. If this is also not satisfying, compare these two. Okay, you are having four ways. One is comparing f1, f2. That means simplification of f1 and f2 and comparing them. If here condition satisfies, okay, then you find f1 bar, f2 bar, and start comparing them. If satisfied, okay, then no problem. Otherwise, again you have a possibility of comparison of f1 came up with f2 bar came up. Find here. If not, you have a possibility of again f1 bar with f2. We are having these four possibilities. Okay, among these four possibilities, there will be definitely one satisfying condition. Okay, either you can get condition that's for this, or you can get at this, or you can get at this, or you can get at this. So okay, so any of the one among the four comparisons will be satisfied. Okay, now what I am doing is I am finding f1 bar, f2 bar. See, I left once and I start grouping zeros. That is nothing but your f1 bar, nothing but your f1 bar. So starting of zeros, you will get the expression like this. So when you observe here, you will get four product terms. Why? Because this term is repeating. Which one? A naught bar A1 is repeating. Here you are having A naught bar A1. Here you are having A naught bar A1. So this is the common term repeating here, so that you will get the product terms as common. Okay. See here, from the two expressions, these two terms are repeating. Okay. These two terms are repeating. Okay. So two terms are there, and this is third term. This is fourth term. Total you will have four. Okay. Repeating means no need to try two times. You can type only once. So two terms are repeating there. Apart from that, we are having two terms extra. Total you will have four product terms. That is the given condition. So when you are dealing with f1 and f2, okay, when you are simplifying for f1 and f2, the condition of these four product terms is not satisfied. So when it is satisfied, when you find f1 bar, f2 bar, very, very important. Okay, you after finding f1 bar and f2 bar only, this condition of four product terms is satisfied. Okay, now start framing the PLA table. Okay, see, write the four product terms and three inputs as it is and the two outputs. See here, A2 normal form means 1, A1 is absent here, so dash, A not in complementary form means 0. Next, here A1, A2 is absent, so dash, A1 in normal form means 1, A not in complementary form means 0. Next, A2 normal form 1, A1 normal form 1, A naught is absent here, so dash. Next, A2 in complementary form means 0, A1 in complementary form is 0, A naught is absent, so dash. And in the output line for F1, we are getting these three expressions. In the F1 expression, we found out these three expressions, these three terms. That's why only these three are kept as 1. This term is absent in F1. That's why we keep dash here. Likewise, in F2, this term will be absent. That's why I kept here dash, and the remaining terms are present. That's why I kept 1. And remember that we got these product terms when we are finding F1 bar and F2 bar. Okay. After finding F1 and F2, we didn't get the satisfied condition. Okay. After finding F1 and F2 by using K-map, we didn't get the satisfied condition. When we got the condition satisfied, when you find F1 bar and F2 bar. So the outputs are in complementary form. That's why you kept here C. In the previous question, we kept T. Why? Because directly when we compare F1, F2, there the condition is satisfied. Therefore, we kept T, true form. But now, until unless we compare the complementary forms of the given two functions, we didn't get the condition satisfied. Therefore, after getting or after finding the F1 bar and F2 bar, then only we got these four product terms. Therefore, the column should be written here C, which mentions that F1 and F2 are complementary forms. Okay, complementary forms. Next, funnel diagram. These are your input buffers, and these are the programmable connections given for four product terms separately and two OR gates. So till here you know. Okay, why? Because till this step it is same as the previous question. Okay, but we got these four product terms when we are having F1 bar. Okay, F1 bar. This is F2 bar. Okay, F1 bar, F2 bar. Please remember, we got these first product terms only after finding F1 bar, F2 bar. Therefore, at this particular point, you will get F1 bar as the answer, and at this particular point, you will get F2 bar as the answer. But in the question, they asked F1, F2. In the question, they asked F1, F2. They didn't ask F1 bar, F2 bar. That's why we need to convert this F1 bar into F1. How will you convert F1 bar into F1? By passing through an inverter. So you can use an XOR gate in the form of inverter. Already we have seen the properties of XOR gate in the unit number 1. In unit number 1, we have stated that an XOR gate can be used as an inverter when one of the two inputs are grounded. So see here, this is the XOR gate. One input is directly linked here and the second input is grounded. Okay. See here, I will change the red color. See, till here the answer is F1 bar. F1 bar. When this F1 bar is directly passed through this XOR gate, when the second input is grounded, this F1 bar will be converted to F1. Like this here also, at this one point, your answer will be F2 bar. And this F2 bar is to be transmitted to another XOR gate where the second input is grounded. It is called as F2. It is converted as F2. Okay. F1 bar, F2 bar should be converted to F2. Therefore, you call this set as AND or invert matrix. I said that there is an optional column AND or invert matrix. Okay. Clear? While I am explaining the block diagram, I said that the fourth diagram or the fourth block AND or invert matrix is optional. Okay, it will not be available in every diagram. Okay, whenever you are finding F1 bar, F2 bar, that means in complementary forms. Okay, whenever you're finding the complementary forms in your problem, then only this AND or invert matrix will be existing. Okay, why? Because see, these two gates are not observed in the previous question. Why? Because those are normal form F1, F2. But here we got F1 bar, F2 bar as the answers, and we need to convert F1 bar as F1. Why? Because the question is in normal form and F2 bar also in F2. So we need to pass them towards an inverter. So which one we use? We use XOR gate because XOR gate can act as inverter when one of the two inputs. See here, for this gate, this input is grounded. For this gate, this input is grounded. So an XOR gate can act as an inverter when one among the two output inputs are grounded. Okay, so one input will be grounded, second input will be linked here, so that F1 bar will be converted to F1. The same process here, F2 bar will be converted to F2. Okay, so this is the concept. Okay, clear? And then we will see the last model, very simple and easy model. Okay, PAL, programmable array logic. So here OR gate will be fixed. Okay, in the previous PLA, both and or both are programmable. That's why we kept into mark connection for both the gates. But here in PAL, OR gate is fixed, AND gate is programmable. Okay, remember these 2 points. In PLA, both AND gates and OR gates are programmable, but in PAL, OR gates are fixed, AND gates are programmable. Okay, because only AND gates are programmable, PAL is very easy to program, but it is not flexible as PLA. Okay, in the case of flexibility, PLA is more flexible, and in the case of easy programming, PAL is easy to program. Okay, why? Because only AND gates are programmable. That this particular PAL will be easy to program, but it is not such much as flexible in the case of PLA. Okay, is not as much as flexible as PLA. Okay, now we will see the example. See, they have given 4 expressions and they ask to implement with PAL. Okay, so first of all, we need to follow these steps. Firstly, perform the K-map simplification for the 4 functions. Okay, suppose if they given 6 functions, take K-map for 6 functions. 7 functions, takes K-map for 7 functions. Okay, find out the K-map for all the functions given in the question. Then write down all the output expressions and then find the PAL table. Okay, likewise in PLA, here also we'll have a special table called as PAL table. And then final circuit will be drawn. Only 3 steps: K-map simplification, PAL table, and logic diagram. Okay, so see here, I done K-map simplification like this, and I got the expressions in this way. Okay, so this particular PAL, until unless you know the concept of K-map, you cannot draw, you cannot design the circuit. Why? Because 75% of this concept is regarding your K-map only. Okay, until unless the K-map is properly done, you cannot proceed for the next step. Okay, so find out the expressions here. If you carefully observe, this entire part is same as W. See, whatever the value you have having W, the same value is obtained here. So you can write here this entire thing, you can replace like W. So you can write X equal to W plus BCD bar. Why? Because these three terms are existing in W. That's why you can write X equal to W plus BCD bar. Like that also you can write. And then this is Y, this is Z. So find the K-map simplifications and write the output expressions. And then frame like this. The first column will be the product terms. Second column will be the AND gate inputs. Why AND gate inputs? These are the programmable. These are the programmable. That's why we get AND gate inputs. Why we are not writing OR gate inputs? Why? Because those are fixed. You cannot change them. That's why here AND gates are programmable. That's why you write here AND gate inputs. Okay. What are the inputs we are having? A, B, C, D, and we are having W also. Where we have W? Where we have W? See here, X equal to, in behalf of these 3 terms, we can write W. Therefore, X equal to W plus BCD bar. So you can consider this W as one of the input. That's why I added here one more column W. Okay. And now write the expression in boxes. This is the first expression. This is second one expression. This is third one expression. This is fourth one expression. Okay. Write down the 4 output expressions in this particular table. Okay. So in the output section, what are all the outputs you have obtained by using K-maps, you just note down in this boxes. Okay. Now, first output expression consists of 3 product terms. What are those? A bar, B bar, D bar, A bar, B, C, A, C bar. So write down those values in here. Okay. You write here A bar, B bar, D bar. You write here A bar, B, C. You write here A, C bar. Okay. And same process like in the previous concept. What is that? A bar, B bar, D bar. Here C is not there. So C not there means dash. Next, A bar means complementary form. So 0. B bar 0. D bar 0. Complementary form. And W is not there here. So dash. Okay. W will be existing only at this particular point. That's why you keep 1 at this particular point, and the rest of all entire column will be zeros. Sorry, dash. Why? Because W will not be existing in any of the other terms. That's why we keep dash in the remaining places. Okay. Next. So like that, you fill up the table. This is the second product term. This is third product term. Then close the box. Next, to go for second expression. Total we are having 2. Okay. So close the box. Go for third one. Close the box. Fourth one. Close the box. Follow the same process what we have seen in PLA. Okay. And then you start framing the table. Start framing the table. Okay. So see here the same concept. What we will do, first of all, you write A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar, W also we have an input. So W bar. Draw the lines, parallel lines. Okay. And assign the buffers A, B, C, D. Okay. Say assign the input buffers. Okay. See, already I said that in PAL only AND gates are programmable. In PAL only AND gates are programmable. So for only AND gates you put into marks. For OR gates you don't find any into marks. Directly connect them. Okay. Directly connect them to the OR gates. See here we don't have any star marks here. Okay. Here no star marks. Here no star marks. No star marks are there for OR gates. That means OR gates are fixed. We find star mark connection. This star mark connection in AND gates. That's why only AND gates are programmable. Okay. So what is the equation of W? See the previous table. See, 3 product terms are there. So take 3 AND gates, connect these 3 AND gates to an OR gate. Okay, like this. And in the second expression, we will get W plus some term, right? So bring back this W with an input buffer. Okay, back this W with input buffer and take here, see, W plus 1 term, W plus 1 term. Okay, like that you frame the entire diagram. Okay, clear? So PLA is somewhat difficult for us when compared to the simplification and analyzing process. PAL is very easy. Just a simplification of K-map, framing of table, logic diagram. Okay. Okay. Among these 3, PROM, PLA, and PAL is very easy. Okay. Remember that in PLA, AND gate, OR gate, both are programmable. Okay. In the case of PAL, okay, PLA and OR both are programmable. In the PAL, only AND gate is programmable, OR gate is fixed. Okay, please make a note so that it will be easy for you to remember. Okay, so this is the 2 concepts that we have seen, PLA and PAL. Okay, just we will have an overview of this, a small comparison of all this. Okay, please note down this table. It will be very easy for you to analyze. Okay, in the PROM circuit, okay, the PROM circuit, AND array is fixed, OR is programmable. Okay, in PROM, AND is fixed, OR is programmable. In PAL, OR is fixed, AND is programmable. See here, these two are reversed. This PROM, this PLA. Okay, when you compare these two, PROM with PAL, PROM with PAL, see here, AND is fixed, here AND is programmable, here OR is programmable, here OR is fixed. Okay, in PROM, AND is fixed, OR is programmable. In PAL, reverse of this. And what about PLA? In PLA, both are programmable. Here, both are programmable. Okay, AND array is fixed, OR array is programmable. Here, OR array is fixed, AND is programmable. But in PLA, both are programmable. Both are programmable. Next, second point. PROM is cheaper and it is simple to use. Same, PAL is also cheaper and simple to use. But in case of PLA, it is somewhat complex and that too it is costly. Okay, it is costly and complex than the two PROM and PAL. Okay, PROM and PAL both are simple to use and very cheap. Okay, as per the cost, they are very cheap. But in PLA, it is very costly and it is very complex also. Okay, that is the second comparison. Next, third comparison. All the minterms are decoded in PROM. All the minterms are decoded in PROM. Why? Because here we are using decoder. In PROM, it internally consists of a decoder. That's why all the minterms are decoded. All the minterms are decoded. But we don't find decoder in PLA and we don't find decoder in PL. That's why here the AND array can be programmed to get the minterms. Okay, in order to get all the minterms, AND gate can be programmed to get desired minterms. You won't get all the minterms, only some minterms you will get. Okay, desired means the minimum required that you need. Okay, as per your requirement, what are all the minterms you need, those minterms only you will get. Okay, here all are getting, but here only desired minterms will be getting. Desired means what are all the required minterms. Okay, next, here also same, AND array can be programmed to get the desired terms. Okay, clear? In the case of minterm concept, these two are same, PLA and PAL. Okay, this AND array will help these two. This AND array will help these two get the desired minterms. Here also will get desired minterms. Only you will get all minterms in PROM. Why? Because here we are using decoder circuit. That's why we will get all the minterms. But here no decoder are there in these two. That's why with the help of AND array, you will get only the desired minterms in these two. Okay. Next, only the Boolean functions in standard SOP form can be implemented using this PROM. Okay, if you want to implement any Boolean function using this PROM, that particular function should be only a standard SOP form. Okay, we have SOP, POS, like that we have two categories. Among these SOP, we are having normal SOP, canonical SOP. Here also you will have normal POS, canonical POS. Total we are having 4 types. Among these 4 types, only canonical SOP is used for simplification. Okay, this PROM will take only standard canonical or standard form of canonical, both are same. Standard SOP or canonical SOP, both are same. Okay, only the Boolean functions which are in the form of standard SOP, those functions only can be implemented by using PROM. This normal SOP, this normal POS, standard POS, these cannot be done. Only canonical SOP is used to simplify this particular PROM. Okay. So by using PROM, which type of functions can be implemented means standard SOP form only implemented. Only standard SOP formats is implemented by using PROM. What about PLA? Any SOP. Any SOP. SOP means either normal SOP or canonical SOP. Any of the two can be implemented here. Here also, any of the two. Okay. Any of the two of SOP. Okay. These two will be same. These two will be same. Here, these two will be same. Okay. So please analyze this table so that it will be easy for you to remember. Okay. So this comparison is very important. They may ask you to compare the PROM, PLA and PAL so that you should write these 4 points in detail. Okay. This first point is regarding the designing architecture. The second point is regarding the way you use and the cost of the circuit. The third one is regarding the min terms, and the fourth one is regarding the implementation of the switching functions. Okay, based upon these 4 characteristics, we have made this particular classification. Okay, this is very important. Okay, clear. So hope the session is understood by you. So by this, the concept of PLDs is completed. Okay, in the previous video, we have seen separately for PROM, and in this video we have seen PLA and PAL both. Okay, among these three, PAL is very easy to implement. Okay, and PROM is also somewhat easy, but PLA is somewhat complex. See, it is somewhat complex. Okay, PAL and PROM both are easy to implement. PLA is somewhat complex for us. So please practice this. If you have any doubts, you can post in the comment section. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. We will meet in the next session with a new topic. Thank you. Bye.